Okay, we're going to start right now. Hi, this is Judy Carter. We just did a webinar with Dolores, and now we are going to, in our breakout session now, going to be working on our message. So Dolores and I thought we would start this off by just you guys listening to us chat about stuff. And then what I'd like to do is that you start to write down your ideas, all right? And then what we're going to do is to break up in some breakout rooms. I'm going to break you up in rooms, maybe 2 to a room, and you take some time talking about your idea to this person. And then we're going to meet again in a group, and Dolores will give you some coaching, okay? So I don't think we'll be able to get to everybody, but we'll do the best we can. So, Dolores, so tell me about this one-word question. Let's, because we were talking about that. So why don't we just talk a little bit, and everybody take some notes.
So here's one thing I want to say about this process, and what really stops on the track, and it's a lack of clarity.
Wait, you're breaking up.
Because you know I'm a TEDx organizer.
Breaking up a little bit. You're breaking up.
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, but you were breaking up. Now you're okay.
If I have to, let me just one thing. Let me just do this, just in case.
All right, I'll vamp for you while you're doing this. So everybody.
Are you gonna dance, you said?
I know I'm gonna vamp, like fill the gap. Oh, there you go.
There you go. You fill the gap.
I filled it. Here we go.
As a TEDx organizer and TEDx curator, one of the things we do in our interviews is the first question we ask is, what is your idea worth sharing? And we ask these questions to applicants that maybe have 10, 20-year career as a speaker and are used to being on a stage, but every time, it's never failed, every time I say, can you tell me your idea worth sharing in one sentence or 6 words, people freeze.
Yeah, we've been having that problem. 1 second, I have to mute everybody. There's a little problem. Okay, and then let me, Dolores, unmute you. Okay, continue on, Dolores. Go ahead.
There you go. Yeah, so what happens is that people are used to talking about what they want to talk about and telling a long story about what they want to talk about, but they don't have the clarity to be concise. One of the things you and I were talking about earlier, Judy, was what are some strategies, some ways that we can begin to clarify that cornerstone idea, or what TED calls the idea worth sharing. Because if you look at a TED Talk, it has a one message that they want to share, and then that message is kind of sprinkled with very good stories that bring the message home. But a good TED Talk is not a good story. A good story is a good story, but it's not a good talk.
Right.
Stories are the supporting actors and actresses of the main character, which is the idea. So what do you? Yeah, go ahead.
Give us some examples of what you consider a good one to be.
So there's one book that I quote a lot. It's Jeremy Donovan, How to Deliver a TED Talk. And there's many books out there, and you'll find great resources. But Jeremy treats it specifically at this point in a great way. And I'm going to give you an example. For example, Simon Sinek, he gave a couple of talks. One is Start With Why, which launched his career. And then he gave another talk, Leaders Eat Last. But one of the things that Jeremy talks about is asking himself, what was the question that Simon wanted to ask? What was the problem he wanted to solve? And therefore, from that, answering that question came his idea worth sharing. So in the talk he gives, Start With Why, his question worth asking was, what is the fastest way to improve the success of individuals and corporations? Basically, he was on a quest of how do I make people more effective? How do I make companies work better. The answer to the question, and thus his talk, was to encourage leaders to start with why so that they can inspire others. Does that make sense, Judy?
Yeah, I'm thinking like, okay, so let me just try mine. And then I want all of you to start thinking about yours, and you can tell me, Dolores, what you think about that. Is that what if all the messes in your life actually formed your essential life message that not only gave meaning to your life, but you could use to inspire others?
Perfect. And I'm going to make it shorter. Perfect
Okay.
and long. So, and he talks about it in that, like a very specific format, to then action. So in your case would be to embrace the mess so I can inspire others.
Oh, really that short? I could even add one word because I've been playing with that, is your childhood messes actually form your essential life message. Your childhood message can be used to inspire others.
Yes. If you want to focus on that, your childhood mess. Yeah, exactly. So you see the exercise. You see how there's a question, a problem you want to solve, and then there's a way to formulate that answer in a structure to then action. Because people will say to love people for who they are. That's great. But so what? Like, if I love people for who they are, what do I accomplish?
Mm-hmm.
Because you could say to embrace your childhood messes. That's great, but for what purpose?
Right. But it's not a question to embrace your child, so you want to put it in a question, right?
No, so the question is actually to help us think it through. Eventually, you want to have a statement. Exactly.
Oh, so our
goal is a statement.
It's not a question, it's an actual statement, right?
Yeah. But sometimes it helps people think of that question first, and the answer to that question makes a statement.
So the question would be what? The question
what do I do with my childhood mess? Like, why do I have, what is the purpose of my childhood mess?
Okay, so we can look at, all right, so, okay, I'm going to kind of get this down, because I think we look at our own messes in our life, all right? I mean, this is not my message. I'm just saying.
It's an example.
To people thinking about how to find their TED Talk message.
Okay.
Is that what are the messes in my life that are occupying me, that are also occupying other people, that are in the world, that people are suffering with? What is that connection? Because and what would be the outcome if we could address it, right? Is that close? Like, because it's not just about your own thing, because that could be narcissistic. It really has to be, what's your idea that's worth sharing? And what makes it worth sharing is that other people are going to benefit from it, right? If other people won't, if the audience doesn't benefit, then why share it, right?
Yeah. So you have to extract the meaning of your stories so that meaning can be shared.
Okay. All right. So does anybody have any questions about this for Dolores, and before we break up into groups and you guys kind of like help each other with that? We're going to just do it for like 10 minutes and then we're going to come back again. Anybody have any questions to ask her, or do you all have a sense of what you're going to try and do here? Anybody have any questions?
I think they need to raise their hand. They're muted, so.
No, they can just raise their hand themselves. They know how to do that. Okay, so then why don't we just break out into let's see, into 2 to 3 people in a room, okay? And I'll kind of sort out. And then, Dolores, you and I I think you can do that if I make you a co-host. Let me see what I can do here. Make co-host. Okay, you are the co-host. And then what we're going to do, Dolores, I don't know if you can see these controls here, but we can hop around to these rooms.
Oh, great.
And see, right? And pop in and work with people. All right, so let's just see. 3 to... Susan, please repeat extracting your message of your story. Did you want to say something about that? We have a question from Valerie.
Okay, Valerie, yes. So here's okay. So here's an idea. Let me tell you. I'm going to explain this with an example. A lot of the work that I do these days is helping speakers clarify their message. Whether they want to go to a TEDx or somewhere else, they need to be clear what they're talking about. And that is my extraction from an experience I had. As a curator, my experience is and was that speakers apply to speak with these long applications that are rambling of thoughts with no cohesiveness and no one way for me, the curator, and my team to understand what they want to talk about. So I have that experience. And I could talk about that experience all day long without giving a solution or without proposing a way to help those people. Or I can look at my experience, share, this is my experience, and because I had this experience, I have created a talk around, okay, if this is something people suffer, I can help them by them following these few steps. Does that make sense, Valerie? Yeah? So it's almost extracting the lesson, the metaphor, the learning from something that happened. It could be a professional experience. It could be your childhood trauma. It could be anything in your life. But
it's like you see a movie, you see a story, and rather than seeing the movie, you just, let's have the cliff notes. So what was this about, and what was I supposed to learn from it?
Well, that's a great metaphor, Judy, because actually there's an article I recently read that a good talk is one that when you walk out of the auditorium and someone said, oh, I was in the bathroom during her presentation, what did she talk about? The other person will say, oh, she talked about this. And she
and you know exactly what it is. Exactly what. Exactly. All right, so let's break up into our rooms. And what we're going to be doing when we break up in the room is see if you can condense your idea, your message now to one sentence. As you know, as it's interesting, as we've been going through the message of you, we get it down to 1 minute from very long, a lot of work. We get it down to 1 minute, and then from that, we're even condensing it even more. So chat among yourself, and then Dolores and I will hop around. So I'm just going to.
Let me go see how I hop around because I'm not sure.
Let's see. Well, Dolores, you're going to be in a room. I'll be in a room. I'll hop around. Okay, here we go. Okay.
Okay, I'll
see if you can join. Yeah, there you go. Okay. Okie doke.
Hello.
Hi there. Okay, Shelley. We got Shelley and Hesma.
Yep, this is Shelley.
Okay, Shelley. So let's just hear your idea.
Well, to be honest, I'm at ground zero. I'm not really sure. I mean, when you talked about your childhood messes,
mm-hmm.
One thing that came to mind was that I did go through some bullying as a child. So I don't know if that's enough for you to start with.
That is great. That is a great start. So let's talk about, imagine yourself addressing people whose, kids are being bullied, and what outcome would you like?
Well, definitely, ultimately, I would like to create, in not just an atmosphere of safety, of course, but also, I think really an atmosphere of compassion and tolerance.
I think that's fantastic. That's really good. Let me go to Hesma and hear what she has to say, and then I'd like you to practice saying it to each other. So you can just say it. That's fantastic. All right, Hesma, go ahead.
I normally talk about safety. I'm a safety trainer, but it keeps going back to disabilities. Caring for someone with disabilities.
Okay.
And how they endure it, from the person with the disability to the family member. The endurance would be
that's what happens, but what is the outcome you want? What is your speech about? What is your idea we're sharing that's going to help people who have disabilities and help people understand people with disabilities?
I think it's kind of the endurance factor. Is it a marathon for you? Is it a trot? Is it a run? Is it a sprint? But what I still don't know what your talk is going to be. So it could be expanding people's perceptions about disability. So how to endure having a disability. Not clear enough? I'm frustrating you.
Well, to listen to speech how to do it, first of all, it would be just for people who are disabled. So you want to expand the perception of disabled people.
Yes.
Shelley, do you understand what I'm trying to do with her?
Yes, I think I do.
Can you coach her? Because I am going to join another group, because you're almost there and I love the topic. But I want Shelley's going to help you with the outcome. Okay?
Yeah. Let me ask you, are you get nervous or whatever? Hi, Judy.
Hi, I'm popping in. So,
hi.
Paige, hi, Paige. How you doing?
Hi. Doing well. How are you?
Good. So let me hear what your idea is.
Okay. Well, I'm a registered dietitian nutritionist, so I'm struggling a little bit with that sentence about creating it right, the if and then and the action.
Yeah. What do you want to help people? What do you want to help them do with diet and nutrition?
Using how I grew up, we didn't eat very well, single mother, so I was overweight. And then tried to figure out how to do that, listening to different people, and they didn't give very good information. And going to school, became a registered dietitian. So I went to use what I've learned to kind of help people move forward and not waste some of the time I did and get that crap information. Move
forward. Okay, so we go, I'm helping people with food move forward. Now let's get that a little clearer. What are you really going to help people?
the better, because it's only 18 minutes if you're doing it. So that's where I'm struggling a little bit. Getting kind of a better focus of how
making people aware of food addictions and getting them to live healthier lives.
Okay.
Isn't sugar addiction and what people have
Yeah, it's not something I'm not expert on the addiction part. So
let's then what is the problem people have with food?
I think it's weight management and not knowing how to live a healthier life or better fuel their body. When people say eat healthy, what does that mean? People don't know.
Okay, so what are you going to give people? You're going to show people how to live healthier, how to actually live healthier lives. But there's something in there, because people have information, they just don't want to follow it. So maybe opening people up to the willingness to actually lose weight and live healthier lives? Maybe a willingness?
Okay.
Tracy, what do we got here?
Well, I just joined today, so
welcome.
Yeah, thanks. I took one of your classes last year, and I started reading.
Right.
Yeah, I got really sidelined by my life, and so
what's going on in your life? Like what? So
well, my dad died last month, and my mother-in-law died in July, and we had more losses too, and it's just been a really.
Let's get a statement about grief.
Okay.
Because that's what you're going through. So let's get a statement about grief.
Life is so short, and you have to just embrace everything about it that you can. And what I thought before all this happened, the last 6 months, that I started doing stand-up 2.5 years ago, and I don't have an issue going on stage. I love going on stage. I don't have any fear or anything. But, after I took your class, I went to my high school reunion, and it was really funny because there were people there that have known me since I was like in kindergarten, and they were telling me how afraid I was all the time. Like I would stand behind trees, and I guess I was.
Hold on, because I only have like 34 seconds here. I got to go another way. So I'm just trying to, without going into story, because we're not going to do stories here. We could do like, I'm going to, it's like how to use humor to get past grief.
Yeah, I'm working on that.
Well, just say that. Let me hear you say that.
How do I use humor?
No, how to. I speak on how to use humor.
How to use humor to get past grief.
Yeah. Or whatever you want to be talking about, right. Maybe that is it. I mean, because that is a good topic. Everybody has to do it, and we don't know how to get out of it.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
You've been going up and doing stand-up. Okay? So, because like she said, you don't want to get into stories. You really want to get into, like, what is the point? What it is. Say it in a short sentence. All right, you two practice saying that back and forth. I'm going to go into another break.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
Okay. Hi, I'm here. What do we got? What do we got here?
Hi, Judy.
Hi, Valerie. So let's hear what we got. How are you? Good to see you.
Good to see you. Well, I haven't gotten Denise's idea yet.
Okay, Denise.
Do you want to talk about your idea, Denise?
Sure. Well, I've been working on something with some people in Canada, and I live in Vancouver. But I've been working on something with the Canadian Trials Network for HIV, and I have suffered from post-traumatic stress for a long time. And I realized after a while that photography was really helping me.
Okay, can we get, I want to hear the sentence. Okay, can we have the sentence?
Okay, the sentence is, and the question I guess is, how can you be in the present when you're suffering from post-traumatic stress?
Okay, so you're going to show people, how, what about post-traumatic stress? What's your idea we're sharing about post-traumatic stress?
Well, my idea is that you keep reliving the event, or you have nightmares about the event. So you're living in the past, and you start to think the world is a horrible place.
So how about this? Mm-hmm. I show people who are living in the past with post-traumatic stress syndrome.
Or trauma,
or any trauma.
Yeah.
How to help them by living in the present.
Yes.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
And I'm a big believer in that. I am. I do all these exercises. When I have stress, like I go, okay, I'm walking down some steps. I'm moving my hands around. You know what I mean? To be in the present. Right? Can you write that down? That's really good. And Valerie, what's yours? Let me hear yours.
Mine is, where did I write it? how can we create lasting relationships in marriage? Because 60% of the women are alone at our age.
So what's your idea?
So my idea is that by learning to communicate effectively, looking at ourselves, our own behaviors that we're bringing to the table, our behaviors and our values that we're bringing to the table, and seeing what the other person is bringing, and try to resolve that and develop our own relationship.
Okay, so what's the one sentence?
So,
creating lasting relationships by
understanding our own behaviors and values.
Okay. How do you understand? You're going to talk for
20 minutes on that. So.
Yeah, it's like understanding our own values and behaviors. I'm not clear what that means.
Well,
I would love something like, how to have lasting relationships by spending one day not lying. No matter what. Or, to have a very specific outcome. Well, I like the outcome, lasting relationships.
Well, usually people blame each other.
What about how to know how to create a better life by knowing when to leave? Creating a better life through divorce, by knowing when to leave.
How to create a better life by knowing when to leave?
Yeah. I've never heard of a talk on that, like a talk encouraging divorce. And as someone who is divorced, and I know you are too, it's like it's a great topic that hasn't been talked about.
Okay.
The other one's murky. So write that in. Creating better relationships through divorce. Okay?
Okay.
Let me just join in here. We got Valerie. Okay, hold on one second.
No problem.
How's everybody doing?
Great.
Okay, so can everybody write in chat your sentence, okay, in the chat thing.
So Joanne, you have it. Susan, do you have it?
Yes, and what I was going to say dovetails with what,
one of my messes, I guess.
Girls, hi, it's me again. Sorry to interrupt.
No
Can you
problem.
write in the chat what your sentence is, okay? And if you don't have one, just make something up now, okay? So we get some feedback, because last I heard you guys were having a great start. So just write the sentence out, okay? And
do all the exercises. And,
hey guys.
Hi.
So can you guys write in chat what your sentence is? All right? In the chat thing, just write your sentence out.
Right in.
You see where chat is?
Yes.
Right. Okay. And so write that out, and then okay. Right.
Is it okay to have two?
Yeah. Write both of them. Okay. You guys write it. You're writing it in chat, right? You write it in chat. Okay. Great. And then
Because now we're afraid, well, my mother did it, my father did this, so
Absolutely.
I should still stay in it too.
As soon as my husband cheated on me, I dumped him.
you go.
He said, "Can you forgive me?" I said, "Yeah," and I didn't.
Okay, I'll be right back. Let my dog's out. 1 sec.
Yeah, so that's a very good one about how to leave.
How to leave. How to leave with grace. How to leave with grace.
Yeah, when enough is enough.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when, I mean, you need to value yourself. You know, stop trying to value the other person before you can value yourself.
Yeah. And the thing is, many people are divorced, but after so many years of suffering, right?
Exactly. And you don't want to go through what your parents did for 30 years. You don't want to be in that situation for 30 years doing what your parents did.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Okay.
I'll mute myself now.
All right, everybody. So wait for everybody else to come back here. Okay, fantastic. So what we're going to do now is look at chat and look at what we've got. What happened to everybody? There were like 30 people who were supposed to be here, and the guys have stopped showing up. I don't understand. All right, so let's go to the chat. All right, so has everybody written in chat? I have Susan, I have Valerie, Denise, Joanne, Shelley, can you write yours in there? And we'll start. So everybody just write whatever you think your message is in there. And then Dolores and I will have some fun playing with it. All right, so Dolores, okay. I only have 2 people who've written their message in, so we're going to wait a little longer for everybody to put your message. Write it in chat.
Can you hear me, Judy?
Yeah.
So I put there in the chat, if you guys want to check it out, the format that we were talking about before. 2 actions so that outcome. And that's a lot of what we were talking about in my room.
Say that one more time. You put it in chat.
So you see my idea with sharing statement format. And it's
I don't see it in here. Can you write it in again? Maybe you didn't share it with everybody, or?
It says to everybody, but I can copy it again. Hold on.
Just
I guess it goes up there.
yeah, put it to everybody, because maybe there it goes. Idea we're sharing statement format. 2 actions so that. Okay. All right. So,
for example, I'm just gonna. Can I jump right on?
Yeah, please.
So Shelly, and I can see Shelly's iPad to everyone. She says, let me see, Shelly, where are you? Go over here, Shelly. Can't see you, but it says, making bullying a thing of the past. So if you were to form it in this way, 2 actions so that outcome, why? So the action I can see, making bullying a thing of the past, what would be the outcome of that?
Shelley?
Yeah, I guess having a world where everyone is safe to be who they are, and I'm just taking stuff off the top of my head now.
Yeah.
We all are, Shelley. We all are.
So Shelley, here's let's. Can we? Are you okay if we continue with this?
Yeah, sure.
So let me just use some creativity here. Think with you. Of course, I don't know enough about you or your talk, but just seeing the same making bullying a thing of the past, I want to ask you, what is that? What is the how that you propose?
I would say helping people who are doing the bullying to really see the impact, the negative impact that they're making. When we were in the breakout rooms, I got this really great suggestion. Now my mind, I've got a brain freeze here. Okay. It'll come back to me. I know it will.
Okay. So based on what you said, what I'm hearing, and let me take a stab at your statement is, what if there's something like to embrace the bullier, how do you say that? Like to embrace the aggressor, so that bullying becomes a thing of the past.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying.
You see, because it is an idea we're sharing that is new, because everybody says, punish the aggressor, protect the victim, which of course it's the most obvious reaction. But when you really think about it, usually the aggressors are suffering before the victims, and as a consequence of being themselves victims, they make others victims, right? So you're kind of putting this whole thing on his head, is what I'm hearing, is that what if we address the root cause of this, and embrace or hug or love those aggressors, so that we minimize or bullying becomes a thing of the past.
I love that, because what you're saying is to make it an original idea. It's not just coming up with a statement, but
no, you still have to.
It's not just like, let's love thy neighbor. And how about not commit murder?
Yeah, you can't do that.
Oh, yeah, I read that someplace. Oh, that's right, the 10 Commandments. So it's like, what we need to really do is to, what's the idea? We're sharing because it's different. We haven't heard it. So embracing the bully to create safety in schools, to create safety, to create
a safe environment, or bullying in Shelley's words, to make bullying a thing of the past.
To make bullying a thing of the past. So people, as you hear us working in the chat section, keep redoing just keep writing it in the chat section, and let's work on it so you can get it right. I don't see everybody's, Hesma, do you have yours in here? I don't, or Paige and Tracy, can you please write yours in?
So I'm going to jump on to Valerie here. Valerie?
Okay.
You want to, let me see, here you are. So Valerie writes, how to create a better life by knowing when to leave. Tell me a little bit more.
Wait. You have to unmute yourself. Can you? Here, there you go.
Okay.
There you go.
There's so many divorces right now. But again, many times we stay in a relationship too long because we keep trying to make it work. So it would be realizing when you're in an abusive relationship, or when the relationship's not working, is to knowing when to leave.
I think your dogs need to leave. So let me take a stab at it.
Okay, because what we're doing, I'm going to be doing a seminar on how to make lasting relationships by communicating better and understanding our own behaviors and the values that we're bringing from childhood or the past or other relationships, that we keep repeating the same behaviors over and over again. Mm-hmm. Some people aren't going to change, but if we can look at that and then...
See, I was coaching her a little bit, and I was thinking a new idea that I haven't heard, that divorce is good.
Yeah.
That divorce is a positive thing. I got a divorce, she got a divorce, and my life is so much better. And it's just a different kind of idea, a different kind of idea about taking the shame out of divorce and turning it into a really good, valid option.
Yeah. And the word boundaries keep coming up to me. I don't know if that means anything to you.
Oh yeah.
So even though, so to.
I'm an NLP practitioner, so I work with behaviors and values and boundaries.
Right? No tapping. No, I'm going to. But yeah, okay. So I think there's something there. See if you can formulate it in the two action then outcome. It's almost like to embrace divorce or to see divorce as the healing way out or whatever it is. But I think, Judy, you said it also in that there's a uniqueness in that conversation of what if we don't shy away from divorce, but embrace it for a healthier, better life for both parties.
Yeah.
I mean, love your husband enough to divorce him.
Yeah. That's good. I think that's an idea that I haven't heard.
To love your husband enough so that you can leave before it's too late.
Yeah. Hesma, can we do Hesma?
Hesma, let me just go. Showing up for your own life, even with a disability. So Hesma, tell me more.
So I have a 17-year-old with autism, and I have a support group for parents with disability. And I noticed that sometimes we will hold the children back. And I've been pushing him in the other direction to get a driver's license, to do all of these things independently. And it's a struggle, but after he breaks through that other side of it, the anxiety reduces and he's able to enjoy himself. And I see it with a lot of the other families. You just have to, you have to believe you can do it. Just take a little step. You can fill your name out. The handwriting doesn't have to be perfect. You can take a picture. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you're a very brave, courageous mama. I take my hat off to you. Very courageous. And you're absolutely right. Because I think what you're trying to bring this world is a jewel in that you're trying to show people, specifically parents, that because your child's development doesn't look like how to expect when you're expecting, doesn't mean it's not right. It just means that you haven't written that book yet about your child.
So what would be her statement then?
So showing up for your life, even with a disability.
What about, I love, because autism is such a huge topic. What about something along treating autism as if it doesn't exist? Or, you know what I'm saying? Not curbing expectations because of autism.
Yeah. Or to yeah, I like that, Judy, of it doesn't exist, or let it define a new reality. It's like let it.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
So what are you getting from that? Because I think you're building it beyond it. So
I know it sounded good.
Yeah, because here's the dissonance for me in this, as my showing up your own life, even with a disability. It almost feels like the disability invalidates the life, but really is the life the life is what it is. It's taking it for what it is.
Yeah.
So accepting it as it is, and not making it feel that it's less than it is.
It's like a new sense of normal.
Yeah, it's a different way of doing things. And trust me, we're all for it. If I was just telling my group, I was like, I'm going to invent a word because I'm English as a second language, so I have no boundaries. I make them up all the day. And trust me, they're very different. But that doesn't mean they're totally wrong or that I shouldn't do it. So something in the lines of to celebrate the different, to live life in its fullness, or in some way, which is not talking diversity. It's just talking not diversity in racial diversity, but diversity or inclusion for all ways of doing this thing called life. People drive without legs. Oh, here's one. Did I hear something funny? I had a speaker last year in my TEDx. He's a video documentary producer. He's blind. And when we were preparing for his talk, he said, "Oh, Dolores, you have no idea. There's pilots that are blind." And I'm like, "What?" "Yes, airplane pilots are blind." I was like, "I don't want to hear that."
Yes.
Don't tell me there's a blind surgeon because I'll never go to a doctor again.
Well.
Well, there you go.
Wow. Well, and also, Hesma, because you're working on your speech and your safety speech, this story has to be in it of your son because it's a heart story. It's your heart story. Because I saw, like, when you were talking about it, I saw you open up and I saw, like, you and I saw your heart. And I, just from that little bit you told us, so that is your heart story. It's it, and you know, and your job is creating safety for everybody. It's like, how do you know, I don't know, there's something there in it, but that story I'd love for it to write out. So Dolores, do you want to pick somebody else in here so we can move on?
Twitter.
Paige wanted to do something on weight loss.
Okay. Let me see.
Okay.
Let me just go to get a visual of Paige. Hi, Paige.
Hi.
So to wait to the junk so you can live a more nutritious life. Tell me a little bit more.
Okay, well, we had another one that we were working on. I was trying to find a way to fit it into here too, so that's why I came up with that last one. But I struggled with weight loss, with my weight, listened to lots of people, and didn't realize that not all the information you hear is accurate. Went to school, giving you a very brief summary. Went to school to get some good information, and now just kind of using that to learn to get through all of that junk to live this healthier life, this more nutritious life. And so I think there are lots of people that can relate to that.
Wait. When you say that junk, you're referring to food or junk information?
I think all of it. And that's where I don't know if I can pare it down, but I think it's junk food, it's stress, it's life, it's kids, it's messy marriage, it's anything that gets in the way of you being healthier, having a more nutritious life. Yeah,
and I love your perspective if you want to take it beyond, because junk it's true. It's not just the junk food; it's the junk noise, the junk buy it now pill, the junk you eat this today, but tomorrow you should eat that. There's a lot of noise that crowds that space. And there's a lot of food, and then there's your own way to add junk to that space of, stress and work and marriage issues or children issues, whatever. So I think there's something there unique in bringing this conversation beyond food, in that weight loss is, yes, it's you need to reduce some certain foods and amounts so that the body will shrink. But the weight is not, the weight is a consequence of a bigger piece of junk.
Well, here's the thing is about weight loss and all that stuff is that it's never really about the food or the information, because everybody has all the information they need to lose weight. Why don't people do it? And have you learned, Paige, a breakthrough? What it really comes down to what is one's own eureka moment to really turn their mess to a success. What was your eureka moment? And that becomes your idea we're sharing, because it seems to me if you figured out something that could help the rest of us sloths, except for Dolores, who looks bad. How much weight did you lose, Dolores, by the way?
Did you guys notice that webinar was bigger?
I mean, I go like, who's this babe? I mean, how much weight did you lose?
I don't know, because one of the rules of my new weight loss programs, I can't step on the scale.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll be.
Your body's about 50 pounds.
What?
I was like a size 14, 16, and I'm a size 8, 6, 8.
That's like 40 pounds.
Yeah. Do you want my secret?
Yeah, we do. We're all leaning in. What is your secret?
Hypnosis. I got a reset.
You got a system reset.
Yeah.
Oh, see, that's a TED Talk. To me, that's like losing weight by doing a system reboot of your brain, right? Yeah. Wouldn't that be a great TED Talk?
That's exactly what I did. I went to this woman who, I said, I don't care what you do, just reboot.
So what'd she just do? Like just go, Twinkies are horrible?
No, but she also, I can go on forever because I'm very passionate about this right now, but she really, I understood the chemical part of why we gain weight. And we can do a whole webinar on that. But
I need that. I'm
happy to talk about that, but it's amazing what I learned and how I was fighting my own body. And it's not something easy. I have to choose this body every day. It's not like, I'm going to go have ice cream. I went on vacation for 2 weeks and I did have ice cream every day. And it's like, okay, I need to come back to my research.
Well, you're impressive because you look really good. You look really good. So
well, when you sent me that video, I was like, oh my God, this is like, I dance in my office. It's like, boy, did I come a long way from that February, March.
Oh, I know.
So back to Paige. So what was your eureka?
I really feel like it's going to vary for everyone. So that's why I'm
like yours.
It's and someday I still struggle with really what is the one thing, because I'm still not completely where I want to be. And so I think that's why I know it's not.
How much weight have you lost?
I've been up and down. And so now that's not an easy question to answer.
Well, maybe that's not, you know what? And Paige, you're new to the message of you, aren't you?
Yeah.
Okay, so, I think you don't know yet, and that's just fine too. I mean, I'm not sure if this is, your thing yet. So when you go through the message of you, the first course, make sure you click on Keeping on Track and go through it to find what you're going to be talking about and what is going to be your message here. Do you know what I mean? Because it might not have anything to do with that, with that stuff, with weight. Because every woman is obsessed with weight. Let's face it. I mean, I go to Weight Watchers every week. It's like obsession, crazy, So it may not be that. It may be something else. So we'll keep digging in that.
Okay.
All right.
By the way, can I tell you an insider secret? The director of Weight Watchers went to this woman that I went to.
Where is she? Is she in Massachusetts?
Springfield, Massachusetts.
Oh, you got to go to Springfield, Massachusetts. Can she hypnotize me over Skype?
No, it's one of those things that you put your name on a waiting list. She'll call you 6 months later. They call you and say, you're in or you're out. You can't even, but I was getting married. I don't care. Like, you're in or you're out. And you have to say in the moment, and then you show up and you don't talk and blah, blah, blah. And by the way, Hesma, you might find this interesting. This woman, she is absolutely autistic. And I want to tell you this, but I think this is a gift for you. What I learned about autism from this woman is that she has, one of the things that she has had a hard time communicating with the world is because she communicates with bodies seamlessly. She knows what was going on with people's bodies, talking to people's bodies. I couldn't communicate with the people's brain and people's thing. So she'll look eyes with you and your body's telling her how I've been messing up my body. So she's telling my body, she's not that bad of an owner. It's like a puppy. Like, she's not that bad of an owner. Give her some slack. Lose some weight for her.
Wow. Well, we're all going, okay, I got the bus, everybody.
But heck no, I think there's something to be said about if your son has a hard time communicating with the world, it's because you guys are not talking his language, not him.
So it could be autism, you know, the gift of autism. I mean, that could be a wonderful TED Talk.
This woman has changed the world of thousands of people. Doctors send people to her.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, there's something there with autism. And did you see, what was that play? The Amazing Life of the Dog, something about an autistic kid and he has an altered reality, but who's to say it's worse or better, you know? There's the gift of autism. I think that would be great.
Road trip to Mass. Yes, that's my fault. Oh, what going in my house. Sorry, I went on a tangent. I know that was not what.
All right, so we have time for maybe one more person. Just a quick one person. Did you guys all put stuff there? What about Susan Lynch up here? Bring empathy through humor to turn dysfunction into productivity.
Susan, do you want to tap into that? Do you want to continue, or do you think we had it? Because Susan was in my group.
Oh, she was in your group. All right. Well, let's try someone who you picked. Someone who wasn't.
Well, there's Tracy here. Let me see what Tracy is. And Denise, you're raising your hand. Do you want to have a try? Go ahead.
Okay. Well,
how to live with
I'm in Vancouver, Canada, and my idea, or what I've learned, and I really am passionate about it, is that my photography has helped me get over post-traumatic stress.
Okay.
And I believe that being in the now helps you get over trauma from the past. And my trauma was that I found out that my daughter and I had HIV. And 3 months later, my daughter died when she was 9 months old. So it was a terrible shock to find that out. And I haven't been off with HIV because I'm fine. It was 20 years ago, but I have nightmares all the time. And the benzos are not working anymore. Like, the drugs are not working. I'm still having nightmares. But now I'm in the present because I love what I'm taking pictures of. Like, I'm taking pictures of little bees and little animals everywhere. And I have 2 dogs. I'm taking pictures of them. But just seeing nature and how beautiful it is making me love life.
Well, this is interesting because I have a speaker that I'm preparing right now for my TEDx, which is also a photographer. She studies Buddhism and meditation, and she has had a struggle of her own. She and her husband adopted a third, so they have 2 children, and they adopted a third one, and it was something that they wanted to do, and that child came with so much trauma into the home that traumatized the whole family. So it was a very, very difficult. And one of the things we played with her, which I think this can serve you, Denise, is the metaphor of the shifting of the lens and shifting the perspective. You're muted again. and how we were talking about this exactly yesterday, is about, in order to take a photo, you need to witness the moment. You need to open your eyes, look through the camera, and be there for that moment, the bee and the flower. And I think in order to take your mind from the past trauma, you need to let it go and be in the moment. So there's almost like to shift the lens so that the present can heal you, or I don't know, Judy, help me out.
Okay, well, wait, I have to turn, Denise, you're having a little feedback, but I absolutely, first of all, want to give you a virtual hug. You have a phenomenal speech, and I kind of saw it. I saw these pictures coming behind you as you told your story, and I saw the juxtaposition of the nightmare that you're speaking about and the beauty behind you, and I saw the lesson, which is that in our minds and the horrible things that have happened to you and that have happened to a lot of people, is that to remember that there is always beauty, that we're surrounded, and that to heal, to open ourselves up to now and what's happening now. And I just saw these photographs that you took along with your story, that truly, because I have post-traumatic stress as well. It's gotten so much better. And the one thing that I do is, when I start to have anxiety, is to go, oh, I'm sitting in front of a computer. My hands are on the key. I put myself truly in the moment. And I think your TED Talk can do that. Can actually, as you do the talk, to put the audience
in their moment.
In their moment now. I mean, is to really have a full expression of now that overwhelms the trauma of the past. So I just kind of saw the whole thing, and I know exactly how to do yours. I just saw it all. Anyway, I really...
Yeah, but it is, you keep on playing. Let the photography guide your words, not the other way around.
Oh, well said. Denise, do you have any thing to add about anything?
Yeah, I was just going to say that when 9/11 happened, all the planes were grounded, and I'm actually was driving into my specialist appointment, and I passed a coyote in the middle of the road, and he's just sitting there scratching himself. And I thought, he does not have a clue what's going on right now. And it was so nice to see that animal and how beautiful that was, when all the world was just such a mess. It just made me grounded, and it just made me feel like there's still beauty out there,
Yes, and what a great call to action to the audience, to everyone. What beauty is around your life right now? What can you open your eyes to right now? I'd like to thank Dolores, first of all. Everybody, yay! Thank you, Dolores. Dolores is really great. She's available for coaching, and I've put a link. If you go into the course, there's an actual link that, and she doesn't charge enough. That's her problem. But anyway, she's fantastic to work with, and you can see that she has a real sense of empathy for other people, and then can also pull things out of people and then put them in a way that an audience will understand. So I've recorded this, and so those of you who worked with Dolores and you got some coaching here, you might want to, when I send you this link tomorrow or whenever I do, you might want to look and transcribe the part where she worked with you. Actually, I think I can save this chat. Yeah, I will save chat. I'll also save the chat, so I'll include that in. And next week, we're going to continue working on goals in your workshop, online workshop with just me, and I still encourage you all to go through the Message of You course and look at the videos so you can get a little clearer on what your message is. Anyway, Dolores, thank you. You were fantastic.
It's been my treat tonight. If you were talking about be present for the beauty out there, you guys just lifted my heart for the beauty out there and in the future stages. So thank you.
You guys really did. And, I just want to say one thing about all of you. A lot of you are dealing with some very painful stuff, obviously. I mean, very painful. But what makes you so special to me in my heart, and I'm going to cry a little, is that you have a willingness to take your pain, work on it, and use it to transform and help other people. And that will not only heal all the problems you're going through yourself, but really creates a meaning for it all happening. Just a thought. Anyway, you guys always impress me. Thank you so much, everybody. Have a great night.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. It's Susan.
Bye, ladies. Susan, I'll send you the book. I get the address right there.
Me encanta la Argentina.
¡Qué bueno!